Hey guys, today's topic is arrow length. I've seen several posts that make me go, Like today, I saw one on an internet forum where a guy said, well, I buy my arrows and I cut them to the desired length and then I shoot them. Maybe I play with the brace height of the bow or a little bit of arrow weight, right? Well, another one that I saw on a Facebook page, I think it was, the guy asked the question, what length should I cut my arrows? The answer to that question is, you want your arrows tuned. And whatever length that is what it is. Okay? If you go and just cut them arbitrarily to 1 inch past the edge of the shelf, then you probably grew up like me in the 70s and 80s shooting. You looked at a bunch of magazines and you just thought, well, that's the way Fred Bear shoots them. That's the way I ought to cut them. You didn't know he tuned them. You didn't know how he tuned them. You just cut your arrows off there. There wasn't a lot of information on the street, right? We were largely ignorant as to how to do a lot of this stuff. Unless you were at an archery club and around people that knew what they were doing, we were all just trying to figure it out. But there's plenty of information now. So when you buy shafts, if you're going to make wooden arrows, they come at 32 inches, but they're spined at 28. So if they're batched, let's say 45 to 50 pounds, that's 45 to 50 pounds at 28 inches. So you buy them full length, you begin cutting them down with the desired point weight you want. In this case, I'm shooting a Zwickey 125. So you can start cutting them down until they fly perfect for you. For me, I want to shoot a full length shaft. So what does that mean I do? I got a 32 inch arrow. If I'm shooting a 45 pound bow, I can't buy 45 to 50 pound shaft. I've got to go to 50, 53. A 45 to 49, if they're 49, they might work. But around 50 to 53 is where I'm going to get you. Your rule of thumb is 3 pounds per inch. So I'm going to have to get a longer arrow to cut it back to get it, or to get it to hold that point weight and tune at full length. If I just want to tune that 32 inch shaft, and I don't care what length it is, then I can start with the 45 to 50s in my 45 pound bow and cut that thing back a 1/4 inch at a time until I get that arrow tuned. Okay, but because I gap with a long bow, I like them full length. Why? That's a different video. These arrows, speed is the name of the game in 3D. So these are arrows I shot in 3D and in field. And so I wanted them as fast as possible. This is a Carbon Tech Cheetah 650. It's cut to 27.5 inches with a 75 grain point. That's what it took to get me the lightest combination I could to get the most speed I wanted. This is an Easton ACE. That's a barrel shaft. It's an aluminum arrow with a carbon sleeve over it. That is 28 inches is what it took for these. Okay, so you order your arrows and don't just go whack them off so they look like they did in a picture in a magazine you saw one time. The length you want your arrows, the length it takes to tune them. You want good flight. If you're hunting, you want good tuned arrows so they fly well for penetration. You don't want your arrow entering an animal at an angle. You want it driving through. That's how you get good penetration. Okay? And that's why I struggle with the EFOC. A lot of guys with 300 grains up front, they're not tuned. They're shooting a lead weight and the arrow's following that weight. And it's just a lob, okay? That's not to say you can't do it and can't tune them. It's just much harder. And I see how hard it is for people to tune arrows. I've seen that movie before, okay? I'm not trying to be sarcastic today. I've gotten a lot of things that I've seen bubbling up that I thought we had left behind 10 years ago. That's a throwback to the 70s and 80s when we just didn't have information. And guys are still applying that stuff. Look. Tune your arrows, whatever it takes to get them flying great. If they wind up sticking 3 inches off the shelf, who cares? Everybody out there screaming they want more weight. You know what? 3 more inches, that gives you more weight. Good luck. Shoot them straight. Tune them.